everyone, I'm Dabira,
And I'm Ove.
and today we have someone very special to interview. Would you please like to introduce yourself for us?
Yes, thank you very much, Dabira and Ovo. My name is Fola Olaoye. I'm a human being, just like you.
Okay, so we have a series of questions to ask you.
May be personal, may not be personal, but we still like for you to answer them.
Okay, so our first one is, what does a typical week look like for you as a pastor?
Hmm. A typical week for me as a pastor, starting from Sunday. I usually wake up around 3, 4 a.m. every Sunday, and I'm going to let a secret out. I come straight to church. So I get to church around 5 a.m. I'm here meditating, getting ready, looking around, making sure, the whole place is set up. And I usually escape back home, get my family, and then we come back to church around 11. And then we have a lovely service based on maybe whatever I see while I'm here between the early hours. And then Monday. Ooh, I love Mondays. I play football. So Monday is a little bit chilled. Well, that is on a day because I also do some secular work. By secular work, I go to school. So if I'm in school, I usually am in school till about closing time, 3 past 3, and then I'm looking forward to football. Play football from about 6:30, and then I go home tired. And my lovely wife is waiting for me, and I sleep up, go to bed. Tuesday, depending again, same routine, school, work, and then I usually come to the church, depends again, or I take my wife and we go down to the docks there and see if there's any sheep that's in the dock. So we do a lot of sheep seeing. Is there anything like that? Wednesday, school. I usually do Mondays to Wednesdays in school, teaching. And then Thursday, yes, I put my phone away because it's Bible study in the evening. So I get ready, take it easy again. We have Bible study about 7, but then I got to be ready before 7. And then after service, see the Dabiras and the Ovals of this world who want to have a chat, and then usually try to get something to eat before I go to bed. Usually go to bed past 11, past 12, depends. Midnight. Friday, what do I do on Fridays? Yeah, I try to attend to everything on Fridays. I'm trying to chill now on Fridays, really, because Fridays, late evenings is usually very busy. From midnight, I have a midnight hour fellowship with some people into the early hours of the morning. And at times, if I've got some long distance, cross continent marriage counseling or counseling to do, I usually do that into the early hours of the morning. And my wife is wondering, where am I? Where am I? What time did you go to bed? I wake up again Saturday mornings. Oh, wow. I just pray that there are no meetings on Saturday mornings. At times we have pastors' meetings, this conference, that conference, or a wedding or something. And then, yeah, that runs through. But at times I try to chill on Saturdays. And then the routine starts again on Sunday. That was very boring, wasn't it? Always try not to laugh.
Thank you, sir.
For my question, the first time you ever called a pastor, how did you feel?
Yeah, very funny. Like I said, it brings me a flashback. The first time I was ever called a pastor was when I was not a pastor. I was in this organization, it's a bank, and somehow I felt, I don't want to sound too spiritual here now, But I had the leading to start praying for the bank where I was working. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we started praying. And then a couple of people joined us in the bank. And then someone hated me for doing that, because the people who started joining me were people, one of them was, don't let me go into too much details, you guys are too young. But then it was the like the second in command, the assistant general manager, apparently didn't like the fact that one of the ladies there was joining me to pray. And so he didn't like me. So one day he looks at me, pastor. So it was more of like in a derogatory manner, sarcastically, and started calling me pastor. So the other staff heard that, and that's how everybody started calling, pastor, pastor, pastor. Yeah. How did I feel? I don't know. It felt cool, but then when I think about it, it was actually sarcastically. And I'd never thought I would be a pastor at that time.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so the next question is, what are the biggest joys and challenges of leading a church?
Biggest joys and biggest challenges. Which one do you want to know first?
Challenges.
Challenges.
Okay, I'd like to say one of my joys. I know you want to hear the challenges. Seeing you guys sitting in front of me, smiling at me and interviewing me, and knowing that you're part of a church and you're the future of the church. Challenges, yeah. Human beings, with every due respect, are the most difficult, challenging of God's creation that you can ever lead. Human beings have got their own wills, emotions. You say this, oh, we've heard you. They'll do what they want to do. Oh, this is wrong, and you try to correct people at times. They take you and see you like, oh, you're trying to disrupt their lives. At times they may misunderstand and think, oh, you're trying to control me. And then they can take you as enemies. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh, he said this when I didn't say that. Oh, he said this because, you know, challenges. You just have to keep loving people. Biggest joy? Ooh, I'm telling you. When you see a life transformed. When you see that, well, with the help of God, you've helped someone who was depressed. And then you see them suddenly, not suddenly, gradually, their lives get better. Joys. I see one day, this is Dabira, this is Ovo. I see Dabira grow up into a lovely, wonderful young lady. Leave school, doing well in school, well behaved in school, and leave school, doing well in life. Ovo, beautiful young man, handsome, fine boy, right? Leave school to a responsible young man, and then see you guys get married one day and all that. You know, see your lives getting better, seeing people transform. Big, big, big joy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. If you were to ever see your younger self again, what would you say to him or you?
My younger self. Yeah, I see my younger self in you. I'm just joking.
If you were like to ever time travel,
Yeah.
go back to the past, see yourself as like 13, like our age, 14 or 12.
12, yeah.
Like, what would you say to yourself as like just passing something down, like a wisdom or something?
Okay. Yeah. My younger self, when I was your age, I was a case, guys. So I would tell my younger self, listen to advice. Listen to wise people. Look at people who have gone ahead of you. Look at people who actually are trying to guide you in life. Spend more time with wise people. I know you've got mates, I've got mates, and I did hang around very not too good company. I'll tell my younger self, choose your company. Choose your friends. Look for people who challenge you. You look for people you would like to be like. Listen to more words of advice and wisdom. Um, and take it easy. Stop being cheeky. What will I tell my younger self at your age? I tell them, look at Ovo. He's cool, he's calm, and he's listening to the pastor who's older than him and asking for wisdom. Yeah, I tell my younger self to spend more time doing more productive things with more productive people.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is, how do you balance church responsibilities with your personal life and family?
Hmm. Church responsibility, personal life, family. Now, I'll tell you one thing, and maybe this can help you. You see, church is actually starts with you. And by you, you're part of the church. And your family is actually your first church. So I've learned to prioritize me, family, right? And then the wider church. If me, I am okay. If I'm in a good place with God, I'm in a good place with my wife, I'm in a good place with my children, I'll be a good place in the wider church. This is one thing I tell people. Don't just listen to what I say on the pulpit. Watch how I talk to my wife. Watch how I treat my children. Watch my personal life outside of the pulpit. Watch me when I'm playing football with Ovo. Right? That helps me to balance things better. So I put in that order: God, my relationship with God first, my relationship with my immediate family.
What's something about you that people would be surprised of? So like something that you like that people thought you never like, something you did that people feel like you never ever do.
Well, I think this question should be directed at my wife, because my wife would tell me, "Oh, look at what you're doing now. Look at what you're saying now. Oh, if only church people will see you now, they wouldn't believe this is the same pastor." So I think my wife should tell you. But I'll tell you this: I am as human, I am as normal. When I say normal, I live a normal life like everybody. I use the bathroom like everybody. I I'm human, very, very human, as human.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, what is your vision for this church in 5 to 10 years?
In 5 to 10 years, 57 plus 5, that is, come on, help me with the maths. You guys,
62.
62 years. Well, in the next 5 years, sincerely speaking, my vision is to know that the next generation, we are preparing them to take over from us, where we can, I'll say, just be there this time as an elder statesman, kind of, at 62. I want to see the Ovos, the Daberas, take over the church, take the church to the next level.
What about your children?
My children are inclusive. I've got, well, like you know, my children are already in their 20s. Yeah. What about my children? You're my children. You're my children. You're one of them, right? Well, I know what you mean. Biological children. Yeah, I like to see them. Um, well, the vision is for the church, right? So the wider church, of course, I like to see my own children biologically in the faith, strong, standing by their own, the church, um, next generation ready to take it to the next level where we couldn't take it to. That will be, and then of course, I'm already planning my way out of retirement in 5 years. Do you want to hear the truth, Ovo? Maybe I'd love to have retired then. And then I'll be free. Well, you can't stop loving people and being around people. Actually, it gives me joy. So, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question in any way, but that's what it is. God knows where we'll all be in 5 years' time.
Thank you. What was your favorite Sunday school memory or moment?
Sunday school memory. Well, when I was little, I got, my parents dragged us to church. And by the time I was like 10, 11, 12, yeah, I rebelled and somehow didn't go to church again. Didn't convince myself there was no God. So, but then prior to that, I remember being made to memorize Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures, and on and on and on and on. So, as an adult now, that I can say it off heart.
And does anyone know that that's the reason why you can say offhand?
Well, if people ask me, I tell them that this that I'm saying now, I memorized it when I was about, I'll say 5, 6. Yeah, going to Sunday school in those days. So that's why you see, I've not quoted a Bible verse, but I'll say this. The Bible talks about training a child in the way they should go. It's a child you can train, not a teenager. If you train the child and train the child early, when he's old, he won't forget it. I got trained to memorize Psalm 23. Now I'm living and walking with that shepherd that Psalm 23 talks about. So the seed was sown in me then. So that's one favorite scripture I can say that I memorized.
Thank you, sir. So, if you could ask any Bible character one question, who would it be and what would you ask?
That would be Adam, the first man. Number one, Adam, why did you eat that fruit God said don't? How did you allow your wife to have so much influence on you? Were you that so much in love that she influenced you to eat that fruit against God's counsel? You ate the fruit. And God got angry. And guess what? Adam, you didn't divorce your wife. You still stuck by her. That is awesome. I think men and young people of this generation, we need to learn how to stick with our wives, how to stay married, even in the midst of challenges, by learning from the first man and the first woman who did the first marriage. That's the question I will ask Adam if I saw him.
Thank you, sir.
For the final question,
Oh, finally.
what's your go-to comfort food after like a long Sunday?
I'm not a food person, you see. So I wouldn't say favorite food. I'll just say anything that's healthy. Nowadays, I'm avoiding too much sugar, so I'll take anything vegetables, salad, yeah, lots of greens. And then if you ask me for it, what would I love to drink? Just anything that's healthy. I learned from my very good friends, my Chinese friends, to take water that is warm. So I don't drink cold water anymore. I try not to anyway. And then I get comforted that way. Maybe that's not what you're expecting. I don't know.
Thank you, sir. And a recommended question is
I thought that was the final question.
if there was anywhere in the world that you could preach, like, is there anywhere in the world that you really want to preach?
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't really like traveling, but I like to see the whole world if possible. So, is anywhere in the world? Well, with the advent of social media, YouTube, I actually, statistically, from what I see on YouTube, I've actually preached almost in every continent of the world just by staying in my living room or in church here. People watch statistics, the demographics seems to, it's like people have watched at least in almost all the continents of the world had me preach. So I'd like to really visit the world if it's possible without having to travel. But yeah, I enjoy going places. I mean, I enjoy meeting people from different cultures, people who don't look like me, because people are lovely. I'm telling you, human beings are wonderful, wonderful. Best of the best of God's creation are human beings. So I love people. Anywhere where there are people, I like to go.
Thank you. So that was the final question. Thank you very
Finally.
much.
Finally.
Thank you very much, Sir, for joining us for the interview.
Thank you very much, Dabira, and thank you, Ovo. Enjoyed really talking with you guys today.
And thank you to you as well for joining us for this amazing interview. And I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day.